Hey residents of MeepleTown, today we are going to be continuing on with our top 50 board games, and today we're going to be looking at numbers 30 through 21. And John always wants to make a big point that, hey, this is for funsies, nobody get upset. I don't think anybody's gotten upset at our list.
The only thing I've gotten upset is the term funsy that you just used.
Speaking of funsy,
Yeah, let's do this thing.
let's just jump right into this. Yeah, let's go for it.
All right.
You're going to start off with your top 30.
I'm going first.
All right, go for it.
All right, so my number 30 is a game that was, I think, maybe the surprise of last year for me. Not because the designer is Martin Wallace. Really like Martin Wallace. But I just, for some reason, wasn't super excited about playing AuZtralia. But when I played it, I was like, this game is really, really good. It's probably my favorite semi-co-op game. I love the decisions that you're making. Well, first, I mean, it's got that cool Euro vibe, and then you're making those decisions like, oh, should I attack this monster and save Dean, because Dean might get killed and the Cthulhu might win, or, which I have to make those decisions a lot when I play with Dean.
I might just get destroyed by Cthulhu. Yeah, I enjoy this game. It is not my vote for the best, my favorite name of a game. Although it's the favorite game name that I like to say, I think, AuZtralia.
I don't think you contradicted yourself in that same statement.
It's not my favorite name. It's more of a mockery thing.
I think it's amazing.
All right, my number 30 is a really, really popular game, and I only like it because of the hype around it. That's not true, but it is Wingspan. This game has just gone bonkers this year since it came out early in the year, and in this game you are really just playing cards into your tableau that will take different special abilities, and you're gaining points by laying eggs and by hunting birds and all that sort of thing. And I actually really enjoy the theme. I recognize that that's not for everybody, although I feel like Wingspan really has brought in a decent amount of people outside of the board gaming hobby because of the theme. So
I think you're drawn in by the theme because you do a really good job of laying eggs a lot of times. And I am surprised that this one, I mentioned on our podcast, I am surprised this one is not way up higher on the list for you.
Yeah. Yep.
Because you talk about this game a lot.
I do. I really, really enjoy it. And it could be,
it's a good game.
I don't know, maybe it's a time thing. Maybe it's over time. I could see it rising. I don't think this is going to drop from the list, but 30 out of how many games I've played is a lot.
That's still good.
That's really high.
It's still high.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 29 is an absolute classic. It is maybe even... some people would argue with me, I'm sure, but the deck building game. And that is, what is it, Dean?
Dominion.
Yeah.
I guess I could just look over on your computer. There's a picture of it.
No, you can't do that. Yeah, so Dominion is just, again, it's the classic deck building game. It is just fun.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, I mean, I can go and we can talk about all the details about Dominion, but I mean, it's just a fun, if you have not played Dominion and you're into deck building, that's probably not the case, but first of all, you think?
Nah, maybe. I don't know.
It's possible.
Yeah. Some people don't like that pure deck building idea. They would rather jump into something like Clank where there's, more action going on, which I can understand. But for me, I love Dominion.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Dominion is necessarily. I've never played Clank, is why I have. I'm not saying that it's better. I'm just saying it. So if people like that genre or whatever, that most of them have probably played that. And I mean, there's so much to Dominion. There's so many different types of cards and setups for the deck and stuff. That's one of the things I really do like about it.
Yeah, there's so much goodness in this game. Totally agree with that. Not totally, because it may or may not be higher on my list.
Oh, yeah. All right, right on.
All right, so my number 25 is, you talked about pure...
We're number 29 right now, actually.
What did I say?
You jumped up to 25.
Oh, I'm actually looking at 29. And said 25.
I thought that maybe you gave 26 before and we'd have to restart this video.
No, I'm at number 29.
There we go.
You just talked about a pure deck builder. This is going to be a pure worker placement game, and that is Lords of Waterdeep. Lords of Waterdeep, you are just taking your workers, placing them on the board to gain not resources, but different types of characters, like the cleric or the warrior or the wizard, and you're using those as resources to go on missions for you, which are cards, these quests, and you're just gathering up the resources, the characters that you need. But the variability comes in the buildings that you build in this game. So you're going to be really building up different worker placement spots. And if you're the one that has put that building out, you're going to gain an extra bonus from that building. So I really like that aspect of it. Super simple game. This is the app is a lot of fun too. One that I go to quite a bit. So
this is one that may be at the top of my list of games that I should have played.
Oh, that's right. You haven't played, yeah.
That I've never played. So I told Dean, like I feel like I'm bracing myself for disappointment. And that's why I've kind of been like, okay. But after he's shared it with me again, I'm getting on the Dean hype train. I'll play any game anyways, just about. So I want to play it.
It's simple. Now with the expansion, that adds some complexity that you might like better. For me, I love the expansion, but I'm okay just the base game as well.
I might love the game.
Yeah, I hope so.
So I won't knock it till I play it.
There we go.
Okay. That's not the way it goes. Number 28 is we're going out west.
Hey there, kids.
We're going out west, and we're going to be... What do we do? We're trying to get... I should know these things. We're going out trying to get gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
silver, and copper.
And copper. And that is in Gold West. Tasty Minstrel game. That is J. Alex Kevern. I thought that was accurate, but I wanted to verify on the interwebs. And I'll tell you what. So Gold West is a game that's, I would say, kind of on the medium light side. Mm-hmm. But it reminds me of a Feld. And as if you've been following us... for any time, you probably know that I'm a pretty big fan of Felds. But in this game, I don't know. I just like, Dean, the decisions that you have to make. Yeah. That they're not. And the reason it reminds me of Feld is that it's like you have these smaller decisions. Okay, which tile do I want? Okay, then now I make another quick decision that's not overwhelming to make another quick decision. But then at the end of it, like it builds to something that's. Yeah. Cool. Like, I mean, you actually feel like you've accomplished something by those decisions. I really like this game. The
Mancala piece of this is one that really,
that's true.
It's intriguing to me because when you take resources, you put them in a location, then you move them up. But where you put those in location really matters because you can get more points by putting it farther down, but you won't be able to get those resources out. It's pretty neat. So Astute observation.
It's true because I love that part.
You're just shouting random words out.
I love that part of the game. But
quality,
what a great game.
Comment. All right, so we are at number 28. Number 28, you'll find that I really enjoy. I like kind of mid-weight Euro games that are very thematic, and my number 28 is very much that game. It is Suburbia. In Suburbia, it's a tile laying game, and you are going to be buying these tiles to put them out into your city to build up your city, and you're going to be getting points. And it's as you place a tile, this tile will trigger that might also trigger another tile that triggers another tile. Now, normally I don't like that. The upkeep of that doesn't really draw me in as much, but in this game, I'm okay with it because of the thematic nature of it. I think the theming really shines in this game. I think it's a lot of fun, and it feels like you're actually building up your own suburban area. And if you might be. I tend to build these slum areas where I'm gaining a lot of money, but my reputation's really low. Reputation is the victory point in this game. Life. So just like real life, yeah. So that's a lot of fun for me. I'm not very good at it, but it's a lot of fun.
Is your wife a low maintenance woman?
She is. I'm not going to answer that in front of the camera.
Because you don't like a lot of upkeep. Like, we talk about games a lot, and like that's when, like, Teotihuacan, that's one thing you didn't like. Like, you don't like when you're having to do all that. So
I'm a simple man, John.
Simple man with a simple woman? But you didn't say that.
All right. I will not say that.
No. All right. My number 27 is a simple game. It's not. It is a absolute classic that is ranked number 22 still overall on Board Game Geek. It came out in 2002. Think about that. Think about
thinking.
But I'm just saying since 2002, and I know this has been. I'm sure this has been number one. I'm sure this has been number one.
I think
right?
so. Yeah. I think when I first started playing, I think it was around like the number 4 area.
Yeah. So even if it hasn't, but I think it has, it's been really high. And for all the games that have come out, Dean, for this to still be ranked 22, Puerto Rico.
That's a build-up.
That speaks a lot.
That's quite the build-up.
I know, that was a dramatic build-up, but it's real. Like, Puerto Rico was one of the first games that got me into the hobby. Catan, and then maybe Puerto Rico. I played it. I thought it was so complicated the first time I played it.
Yeah.
Now I've gone back and I remember I shared this on the podcast, but I played it with my wife a couple months ago, and she hadn't played it in years, and she was like, "Oh, really? That's it?" Like, it was just because she had played so many more games between the two. But I just think Puerto Rico is a blast. If you haven't played it, it's absolutely a classic. You have these really cool roles that you're picking, and that's one of the biggest cruxes of the game, is that you're picking roles and you're trying to pick them whether you're the captain and you want to go ship stuff off, or you're the prospector to get some more money. It's about picking the role at the correct time to take the most points for you and suppress the points that your opponents are going to get, and it's fun.
Yeah, and people that have played this game a lot know that they know the right timing of it, and so it can be a frustrating game playing with somebody who is really good at this game and somebody is just learning it. It can't. I mean, not for me. I'm okay playing with anybody, but
it's because you're so highbrow.
I am low maintenance, but I am highbrow. But
with your board games.
But I definitely know that some people get frustrated in this game. But for me, I love it. I love Puerto Rico as well.
Yep, that is number 20. What'd I say? 7. Yep, 27.
All right, 27 for me is not very much of a Euro game as much as it is I guess maybe in the party game category. Party game. Family game. Fun game. That's what this game is. It's called Sheriff of Nottingham. So in Sheriff of Nottingham, you are trying to smuggle in goods by taking your bag and saying, "I'm going to go through the gates, Mr. Sheriff, with 5 chickens." And so you hand him the bag, and so the sheriff then has to decide, am I going to open this bag feeling like they're probably trying to smuggle in some things that aren't chickens into Nottingham, or am I going to trust them? If I open it up and I'm wrong, then I have to pay them a fee. If I'm right, then they have to pay me a fee. It's just fun.
When I play this game, I scream, "You're Nottingham, gonna get this through."
I don't really know why you would do that.
I've never done that in my life. So I've played Sheriff of Nottingham. I am stunned that it is this high on your list.
I'm going to put crickets chirping as the sound when I edit this video.
I think that would be amazing, actually. I'm actually, I think that it's a fun game, but man, this high.
Oh, no. It's an amazing game.
And I know a lot of people really like it, though, so I'm not dumping on it by any stretch. But for me, it was fun, lightweight, family game.
I love laugh out loud games. Like, if it's just fun and everyone is having a really good time, that's
your jam.
That's my jam.
There you go.
I mean, it's a game, right?
That's true. I guess it depends on why you game, and we all game for different reasons, don't we?
We do. That's right. Speaking of which,
number 72 overall on Board Game Geek is my number 20. Oh, I'm about to lose my spot. 26. And I mentioned a couple games ago, or 2 games ago, that I enjoy Stefan Feld. Well, here's a Feld game that I wrestle with. It's definitely one of my favorite Felds. It is a nice other Mancala style game, like we talked about with old Gold West, and that is Trajan. And so in Trajan, one of my favorite parts about it is you do have this Mancala style action system where you're picking up what are they? They're not cubes, they're cylinders. Mm-hmm. And then you're moving them around, and it's causing you to do certain actions. There's a ton of different actions and different places to go on the board. I'm not going to bore you with all those classic Euro style things, but you're spreading influence, I think, is the theme. And anyway, Trajan just puts you into a lot of really cool decisions that you're making through the course of the game. Very solid game. I enjoy it.
Yeah, Trajan's a lot of fun. I like. I guess I find myself liking some of those Mancala style games, but
I do.
Even beyond that, just the different actions that you can take. Those Trajan tiles are the things that really do it for me. I think that's cool. That you can trigger different things as you're moving around.
Yeah, it's a great game.
All right, so my number 26 is a Euro game. This is Orleans, and in Orleans, it's a bag builder, similar to a Dominion type game, which is a deck builder with cards. A bag builder, you're getting these little tokens to put in your bag. You're purchasing those, and as you are purchasing those, you're also moving up on tracks. But basically what you're doing is as you're getting these tokens in your bag, you draw them out to put them out on the board, and that kind of works as a form of payment for that specific action space. And so let's say I need a red, black, and a gray tile. I'll put those on there, and that will trigger when I get those on there.
I love that part of the game.
Yeah,
it's so fun. You're drawing these out, and you're laying them all out, and then trying to decide where to put them. And it's cool that I like how it's not just, okay, one for one action.
Yeah.
I like how you have to get that set.
Yeah.
It's neat.
Yeah, and there's different ways that you can kind of build up your empire. You can travel. You can there's also ways that you can thin out your bag. So it's a really fun game. I like bag builders, so it's fun. Orleans for me.
I like it a lot. A little bit more than Dean does. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, neither one of us have played Altiplano either to have it to compare to, but that
is a sad and
I
true
really
statement.
want to try that one as well.
Yep. My number 25 is one of those games that would not make the list if we were not including expansions, kind of like Champions of Midgard, how you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
But when you add the expansions to this game, it gets quite nice. Now, I like the actual base game, but it wouldn't make the list, and that is Raiders of the North Sea. Did you like the dramatic pause?
I thought you were wanting me to say
No, I just wanted to have a dramatic pause. Raiders of the North Sea. I remember playing the game for the first time. I enjoyed the theme. You're going out and you're raiding all these different places. But the really cool part about it for me is I like the way the worker placement happens.
Yeah.
You're placing a worker, do the action, then picking up another worker. You can't pick up the same one that you just did. So it leads to all these really interesting decisions that you're making, especially based on what your opponents are doing and what you think they might do next round. So I'm playing the game going, okay, I think Dean's going to go here, which would open up me to be able to do that specific action or whatever. And sometimes he doesn't do it, and you're like, no. But when you add the expansions to Raiders of the North Sea, it gets like fairly thinky.
It does. Yeah, it's a pretty thinky game.
And I like that a lot in the game. So Raiders of the North Sea with the expansions is my favorite Shem Phillips game right now. I really would like to play Paladins. That's not part of our top 50 list here, but I'm looking forward to that game. But this is great.
Yeah, quite enjoyed it as well. I've already talked about it, so I will not belabor the point. All right, my number 25 is it's Arcadia Quest, which I'm kind of all over the place now I'm thinking about it, with thematic to Euros to party games. Anyway, so Arcadia Quest, what you are doing is taking on the role of 3 characters, and it's a campaign style game, but it's not a cooperative game, it's a competitive game where you are going around trying to complete these quests better than other people. So you're going around with your little miniatures. It's a command game, so there's lots of cool miniatures in there, and you're taking out the other players, you're taking out these monsters, and as you do that, you're going to be completing these quests, and there's different triggers for different games on what those quests are. But then once you finish that up, you're going to be able to get new equipment and things like that, which is really cool. I enjoy that. So it's kind of unique because a lot of these campaign games are more on the cooperative side, but this one it's a very in-your-face, nasty game, and it's just a lot of fun. Arcadia Quest.
I would like to play that, but I have never played that.
That's a good statement, John.
The whole time you were talking, I was preparing to make that statement.
That's what you got. That's what you came up with.
Absolutely, and I'm going to stand by that statement.
There's a thesaurus over there if you want to pick it up.
Number 24 is...
That was mean, I'm sorry.
What, there's a thesaurus?
The thesaurus.
That wasn't mean at all. Sorry, I was looking at something here. I think that was great.
Okay, I was just trying to help you.
Number 26 overall on Board Game Geek is my number 24. We almost matched up perfectly. And that is a game that is all about farming.
Yeah. Yep.
And that is Agricola. It is a classic. Agricola's been out since 2007. In Agricola, you're a farmer. And the way the game is played is very simple. You take your worker, you place them on one of the action spaces, and it says wish for children or whatever it may be, and you get to do that action. However, it is so thinky because it's so tight. Like the first time, if you've never played Agricola and you try to play it, you play it.
You will try to play it.
You will try to play it. You will probably score a poopy. I could be wrong. Maybe you're great at learning new games. I remember the first time I played it, I was like, what? I scored like negative points. Not really negative, but I didn't score very well because I just didn't know the right way to do the actions and stuff, and I still am not that great at it. But it is a fun game because I like how tight it is. You're really trying to make sure that you are making the right choices at the right time. But man, if you're not able to do that, it can hose you.
Yeah, it's a stressful game. You know, it really is, because there's, you know, feeding your workers and being able to get the amount of crops and animals that you need to be able to get the points is it's tense. But the card play is what I love about this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like
not in my top 50, but I enjoy it as well. All right, so my number 24 is a little bit different than any game that we've been talking about. This is a dexterity game, and it is the oldest game on our list, I would say. All right,
the oldest game on our list.
The oldest game on the list. This one has a date of the 1800s that it was published. Yeah. So this is, I don't see the date on there now, but it is in the 1800s. It's
1876.
There we go, 1876. It's Crokinole. Crokinole it's just fun. I really enjoy Crokinole. It's a wooden board that's circular, and you just
throw a frog down a hole.
I don't.
Crokinole.
Oh my goodness gracious. Help me. You're flicking disc, and as you're flicking these discs, you're getting them in the hole to get points, or you're flicking disc to knock other players' disc out of the way. It's just a lot of fun, and it's pretty tactical in nature. Very different. It's more like, I guess, billiards if I compare it to anything. It's not like our typical board game, but it is a board and it is a game, and it sits on top of a table, so it fits in that category. Crokinole.
I've never played Crokinole. I don't know why.
You have Crokinole,
I do. Don't you?
I do. Yeah, I have a board. It's a lot of fun.
We need to have a Crokinole like tournament or something with just some folks, because anyone can play it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to brag, but I'm very mediocre at this game. Yeah, actually the first time I played this was in a tournament, and I did pretty well in the tournament, and it was just fun because, like you said, anyone can play this game. You teach it in about 2 minutes, and then you're ready to go. So a lot of fun. But there are players that are really, really good at this game.
Probably not but I'd like to play it. All right, so my number 23 is a game that Dean and I played for the first time. What? In the other room over there, if we could take the camera in there. It is a Tasty Minstrel game, and it is a civilization game. And I remember playing it, and I just immediately thought, this is a pretty darn good game. And that is
Gentes.
So in Gentes, so here's the things that I like about it. Let me just say that I'm not going to go over all the details of the game. I really like the aspect of time in this game. So you've got this player board that you have, and you're choosing actions. But when you choose the actions in Gentes, you have to take these time little blocks or whatever. And sometimes they only require one time, sometimes it's multiple times. And so when you're picking actions, I just like the choices it puts you into, because sometimes if you pick an action earlier, it's less time. And if you have to get it later on in the round, you might have to pay more time, or it's less money,
right?
Or it's more money. And so you're looking around going, okay, do I need to take this now? But Dean might take that, which might maybe take this later, that might maybe take this. And so you're really having to think about what your opponents are thinking about over the course of the game. And when your time fills up, your round is over.
Yeah.
And so I love that about it. And then I also love the card play and how you're matching symbols in order to score victory points and different things like that as well.
Yeah, I love this game too. I might talk about this later, but it's not a very thematic Civ game, but the mechanics are fantastic. Really unique. I can't think of really any game that does that time aspect in the same way that Gentes does.
Nope, I like it.
All right, my number 23, I'm kind of lumping the genre into here, and that's all the Zombicide games. Particularly, I would say Zombicide Black Plague is probably my favorite, and Green Horde, those medieval era ones. I think the rule sets are better, but now Command Games just announced that they're doing a second edition of the modern Zombicide, which is really exciting because I quite enjoy that setting as well. I've had a lot of fun times with this game. Still have stories that we tell, years after playing the modern Zombicide game. So I think it's a lot of fun. There's not a lot of strategy. You kind of have an idea of what you need to do. You need to get really good weapons, and you need to go kill some zombies. Like, that's it. Now, you have different objectives that you have to complete, but the gist of it is you got to survive and kill those zombies. But isn't that what you do in the zombie apocalypse? Maybe not rolling dice, but maybe...
That's what happened in the last zombie apocalypse I was a part of.
Exactly. And you survived.
I did. So I've not played that one either, but we have made a pact yesterday.
We did.
A three-person pact that I will get to play this game with him,
Yeah.
and a friend that is that Steven's favorite game, maybe?
It is his favorite game, and he has all the modern Zombicide stuff, and I have all the Black Plague stuff, so it works out well.
A three-stranded cord is not easily broken.
All right.
I'm not sure that's applicable in this situation, but it is stated.
It is in the zombie apocalypse, though.
All right, my number 22, so we're rolling right along here, is a Uwe Rosenberg game that is a wonderful economic game. That is Lahav. In Lahav, you're gaining resources, you're upgrading resources, you're buying buildings, you're buying ships, and it is just this economic trading thing. I'm trading these resources for this building that's giving me this action that's going to allow me to upgrade this type of resource. It's allowing me to get this ship or upgrade to this ship, or there's just so many fun choices in Lahav that you're making as the game's played, and I don't think it's weighted 375 here, ranked 41 overall on Board Game Geek. I don't feel like it's overly complex to learn how to play, but there's a lot of decisions that you're making in the game, and I think it is a wonderful game.
Yeah, I've only played the app version of this game, and it didn't click with me, but partly because I was playing on a phone, and I feel like you really kind of need to see everything that's laid out. So
I love the app, but if I didn't know how to play the game, it would be...
It'd be tough.
Yeah, because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
It's so much better to see it laid out than just, on that little app. So anyways, that is number 22, and that is Lahav, an excellent game.
Yeah, I want to try that. All right, so my number 22 is another Euro, thematic Euro. That is the Godfather Corleone's Empire. In this game, you are placing your workers at different locations, but the cool thing is depending on what type of worker you place and where you place it, you will be either shaking down the front of a business or the back of the business. So you're going to get different resources based on where you're placing your workers. And it's also, the other unique piece of this is that it's really highly interactive, and that you're going to be taking out other players' workers, their mafia members, and you might be throwing them in with cement blocks around their feet into the Hudson. It's a...
Do you secretly dream of being a mafia?
Maybe. When I play this game, I feel like I could be that person.
Do you go?
I couldn't really. No, but you want to, because this game is a lot of fun. I really enjoy this. It's again, the theme might not be for everybody, but the theme really does, I think, shine in this game, considering it's a Euro.
Excellent.
Yep.
That is Godfather.
Godfather, Corleone's Empire.
All right, so number 21, Dean. We're ready for the last one for this video. This is a game that it was our second review, I think, on our podcast. It's a game that when I played it, I thought, this is a good game, but I didn't think it was a great game. And in the last, 7 months, 8 months, how long it's been now, it has become a great game for me because I've played it more and I thoroughly enjoy it. It is a game that you've always thought was a great game. It is Keyflower. I really, really enjoy this game. You have this really cool auction-y element to it where you're bidding your meeples on the tiles that are going to be placed in your town, but you're also using those meeples to perform actions on your town and other opponents' towns, which it can be really cutthroaty because of that, especially in the last month. whenever you're scoring a ton of points. And that's what I didn't love about the first time I played it was that... Season. Sorry, you're right. Winter is not a month. It is a season. Thank you there. That's what partners... That's what friends are for.
I just didn't want MeepleTown making fun of you in the comments. That was my fear for you.
I thank you for that. I appreciate that. So, and that's what I didn't love about it was that you're really building up primarily to have amazing winter. Unless I don't know. I mean, do you think that's pretty accurate? I mean, you do score some points and do things, and you can upgrade your tiles and stuff. But for my play of the game, that's where you score the bulk of your points. And I didn't love that, but it's one of those things where when you don't know that, and the other people are scoring a lot more than you because you didn't prepare well, it can maybe sour it a little bit. But the more you play the game, the more I like it. Keyflower, great game.
Yeah, you very much have to prepare for the winter.
And you have to get the winter tile that you need.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Or if you know that you're not going to get it, just don't put it out. Because you that's the piece that I like is that you can choose which tiles are going to go out, but that doesn't guarantee that you're going to get that tile. So if you think this is what I really need to get, you need to make sure you save enough workers of a specific color that you want to just load up on to make sure that you get it. So
a lot of cool choices that you're making.
Yep. I agree. I quite enjoy Keyflower. My number 21 is a game that you also quite enjoy, I believe. And this game is described often as an elegant game, and I would totally agree with that.
Oh, this is not high enough on your list.
Don't tell me how to make my list.
Don't tell me my business.
You do your list. I'll do me. You do you. Concordia is my number 21. Concordia is a great game. It's 21 on my list. But in this game, you start off in Rome. You are sailing around and venturing around all over Europe, depending on which map I guess you use. It might just be Italy. But you are going around and you're building up these different towns, and as you do that, you're going to be gaining different types of resources. But the big driving force behind this game is it's a deck builder. Now it's a different kind of deck builder because the deck is very small, and the way that you get your cards is unique because once you're playing your cards out, taking those actions, eventually you're not going to have any cards in your hand, so you're going to need to play the card that allows you to take all your cards back into your hand. And when you do that, that's a good way to get money. It's just it's an interesting game. It's I mentioned in the past that Keyflower is a game that makes me feel very relaxed. This is another one of those games that I just feel at ease when I'm playing.
So you always feel relaxed when you play Concordia. I always feel elegant. I always play Concordia in my tux with my cup of tea and my pinky raised, and I say, "Governor, governor."
He does, like, throughout the whole game. It's really annoying.
Is there a governor in that game?
There is in Puerto Rico.
That's right. When I play Puerto Rico, I actually legitimately do say "governor" all the time, and it drives people nuts. Even myself sometimes.
All right, so that was my number 21, Concordia. And that does it for our next 10 on the list. Get ready. Next week, we're going to be releasing...
You kind of scared me there.
20 through 11. And then the week after that, you guessed it, our number 1 through 10. But, John, tell people how they can get in touch with us.
Tell us people. You can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. All those are at MeepleTown Games. Also, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel here. It really helps us out. We want to continue to grow this community, so we really appreciate to everyone who has already subbed and anyone who will also sub. We really do appreciate that. Yeah. Additionally, we are Board Game Geek Guild 3407.
That is it. That's how you can get in touch with us.
Oh no,
you're ready?
You're leaving me hanging.
Thanks for coming down to MeepleTown.